Hello fans of Orlando Pirates, please subscribe to the channel and like it. Okay, let's go. In a week already buzzing with transfer rumors, preseason training updates, and the usual chatter surrounding South African football giants, Orlando Pirates have sent shockwaves through the football community by unveiling something so unexpected, so intriguing, and so deeply layered in secrecy that supporters and rivals alike are still struggling to process what it all means. Tonight, we dive into the full story behind what the club has now labeled one of the most ambitious partnerships in their modern history, a revelation that has instantly dominated discussions all across the country, the arrival of a mysterious wealthy sponsor whose identity remains hidden, prompting questions, excitement, bewilderment, and wild speculation from all corners of the football landscape. From the very moment the club's official media channels released that brief but explosive statement, simply reading, "A new era begins." A powerful partner joins the family, supporters began scrambling for answers. Who is this partner? Why the secrecy? And what does this mean for the Buccaneers' future both on and off the pitch? What we do know at this hour, or at least what the club has chosen to reveal, is that the sponsor is reportedly a high-net-worth entity, described by insiders as wealthy beyond anything previously associated with South African football sponsorships, and that their involvement is poised to reshape the competitive landscape of the league in a dramatic way. But as we tell this story, we must start with the atmosphere surrounding the club in the days leading up to the announcement. It began quietly, almost innocently, with small hints dropped by the club's chairman during interviews in which he spoke about exciting developments and transformational support systems being put in place for the upcoming season. The chairman's tone was confident, almost cryptic, but few expected the reveal to be this monumental. As the days progressed, supporters noticed subtle changes, social media graphics updated with unfamiliar color accents, behind-the-scenes footage featuring blurred-out branding in training facilities, and unusually tight security around the club's logistics and communications teams. Something big was brewing, but very few outside the highest levels of the club had any idea just how significant this deal would be. When word finally dropped that a wealthy sponsor had been secured, the football world erupted. Analysts immediately started comparing the magnitude of this sponsorship to some of the landmark deals seen in European football, massive partnerships involving Middle Eastern consortiums, global tech giants, and billionaire private investors who transformed clubs overnight. Though the details remain hidden, one thing is abundantly clear: this sponsor is not just offering financial backing, they are positioning themselves as a partner capable of elevating the Buccaneers to unprecedented heights. In internal documents seen by a handful of sources close to the deal, this partnership is described as holistic, multi-layered, and strategically aligned with long-term football dominance. What makes the announcement even more fascinating is the fact that the sponsor has insisted on remaining anonymous, for now. According to club officials, the decision to conceal the identity of the sponsor is part of a carefully orchestrated marketing and reveal strategy. Some speculate that the sponsor could be a multinational corporation preparing for a large-scale entry into the African market and using Orlando Pirates as its flagship brand ambassador. Others believe it could be an influential private investor with deep roots in sports development, hoping to revitalize not just the club but broader football structures across the region. There is also the theory, circulating heavily online, that the sponsor could be a respected figure in global entertainment or technology, someone with a global following and a vested interest in connecting with African audiences. Yet the secrecy has not stopped supporters from dreaming. Imagine the transformation of training facilities with cutting-edge technology, or the arrival of top-tier international players drawn in by a club that suddenly has the financial muscle to compete not just domestically but continentally at the highest level. Picture a football academy upgraded to world-class standards, scouting networks expanded to every corner of the continent, and sports science departments reinforced with global experts. If the whispers are true, this sponsor intends to invest not just money but vision, supporting squad development, infrastructure growth, community programs, and brand expansion. We are talking about a potential decade-long transformation that could echo across the PSL and beyond. Of course, with such a massive shift in momentum, questions are emerging about how this sponsorship will influence the club's transfer strategies for the new season. Already, rumors are swirling about possible marquee signings, including players whose names have never previously been linked to South African football. Some insiders claim the club is targeting high-caliber forwards with proven track records on the continental stage, while others suggest that the emphasis will be on building a strong defensive backbone supported by experienced internationals. There is also speculation, albeit unconfirmed, that the sponsor has expressed interest in supporting the acquisition of a big-name coach or technical advisor, someone with global experience who can help the club unlock its full potential. But beyond the pitch, the club insists that the partnership is focused on long-term sustainability. This is not about splashing massive amounts of cash in a single season or creating a financial bubble that collapses when the partnership ends. Instead, the sponsor has reportedly emphasized values like youth empowerment, technological innovation, and the strengthening of football systems across South Africa. There are early indications that part of the investment will go toward upgrading the club's digital infrastructure, including innovative fan engagement platforms, immersive matchday experiences, and new content production capabilities that could position the club as one of the most modernized brands in African football. Inside the Orlando Pirates locker room, the atmosphere is reportedly electric. Players are energized, motivated, and eager to prove themselves in what feels like a new era of possibility. For younger players, this partnership represents an opportunity to develop under world-class conditions, with stronger pathways to international opportunities. For senior players, it offers the chance to achieve new levels of success, challenge for major trophies, and leave behind a legacy that future generations will look back on with pride. But as excitement continues to rise, so too does the pressure. Rivals across the league are already reacting, analyzing what this means for their own strategies and budgets. Some clubs are scrambling to strengthen their squads to ensure they remain competitive. Others are adopting a wait-and-see approach, observing how the sponsorship translates into tangible results before making major decisions. What is certain, however, is that the balance of power in the league may shift significantly. This partnership may mark the beginning of a new competitive era, one in which financial stability meets strategic innovation, reshaping how teams approach both gameplay and management.